Hi, welcome to the Yale University Art Gallery in New Haven, Connecticut. Please come on in and have a seat. This is Stories and Art.
Hello, my name is Martha. I'm a gallery teacher at the Yale University Art Gallery. The story I'm telling today is called The Fisherman's Tale, adapted from the translation by N.J. Dawood from 1973. It's a story from the 1001 Nights, also known as the Arabian Nights, a famous collection of stories from the Middle East, Asia, and Northern Africa, collected more than 1,000 years ago. While I tell the story, we will look at these two artworks from the gallery. The first is a bottle from Iran. We no longer know the name of the artists who made this work. It was made 700 years ago, around 1300. What do you notice about how it's decorated? I notice that it's bright blue with lots of gold designs. As I look more closely, I see lots of shapes like circles and diamonds around the middle of the bottle. The other artwork we'll look at is this painting by the American artist Maxfield Parrish called The Fisherman and the Genie from the Arabian Nights. It was painted in 1905. Since Maxfield Parrish was born long after the story was first told, he painted this scene from what he imagined when he read it. What do you notice about the painting? I see a man by the water looking at smoke coming out of a jar, and I can see a town through the smoke. What colors do you see? I notice that the water is bright blue with green. Now, while I tell the story, see what else you notice. Once upon a time, there was a poor fisherman who fished every day to support his family. Each day, he only had time to cast his net 4 times. Some days the catch was good, but other days it wasn't enough. On this day, the fisherman left his house in the town and walked along the sand to the edge of the water. When he got to the shore, he put down his basket, rolled up his sleeves, and threw his net out as far as he could. He waited for it to sink, then began to pull it in. The net was so heavy that he could hardly move it. He heaved and tugged and finally pulled it in. Inside his net was slimy seaweed. "Yuck!" cried the fisherman. "What a horrible catch! Now I'm covered in muck." After cleaning it out, the fisherman threw his net again, waited for it to sink, and began to pull it back. His net was even heavier than the first time. He hauled in his catch. This time, it was a big pile of rocks and mud. "Ew!" yelled the fisherman. "Where are all the fish?" The fisherman cleaned out his net and threw it a 3rd time. "I hope I catch some fish this time," he muttered. Once again, he felt his net grow heavy and he slowly pulled it in. What was in it this time? A bunch of broken bones and sticks? After untangling himself and realizing he had torn his clothes, the fisherman groaned. "I only have time to cast my net once more. I really need something good this time." The fisherman threw his net for the 4th and final time. He anxiously held his breath as he pulled in his net. Instead of fish, his net held a mysterious bottle. He picked it up and began to wipe it off. It was a bright blue bottle just over 11 inches tall. The bottle was beautifully decorated, and the lid was tightly sealed. The fisherman gasped. "Well, it's not a fish, but with all the gold on this bottle, I'm sure I can sell it at the market. I wonder what's inside. If there's oil or perfume, it could be worth even more." He pulled the lid from the top and stepped back in shock. From the top of the bottle, there poured out a plume of swirling smoke reaching all the way to the sky. The smoke spun into a huge spirit, so big that he turned the blue sky gray. His head reached the clouds, and his mouth was as big as a cave. The terrified fisherman trembled with fear. The spirit roared, "After 1,000 years, I'm finally free. I was so angry to be locked up. I swore to take my revenge on the person who freed me. Now you have set me free. Choose your punishment and prepare to suffer." The fisherman cried, "That isn't fair. I set you free. Will you punish me for my good deed?" "I'm so angry," answered the spirit. With his mind racing, the fisherman thought of a plan. "I might not be able to fight the spirit," he thought, "but maybe I can trick him." He said to the spirit, "I understand that I must be punished, but before you punish me, could you just answer one question?" "That's fine," said the spirit, "but hurry up. I haven't been out for 1,000 years, and I want to have some fun." "Okay," said the fisherman. "I just can't believe that you really fit in this bottle. You're so huge, it's only as big as your little toe. How could such a tiny bottle hold such a big, powerful spirit?" "Do you dare doubt that?" roared the spirit. "I'll never believe it until I see it," replied the fisherman. The offended spirit once again transformed into a spinning cloud of smoke. He swirled around the fisherman in a howling wind and whooshed into the bottle. The fisherman quickly put the lid on and sealed it tight. From inside, the spirit yelled, "Hey, let me out! What are you doing?" The fisherman smiled. "I'm throwing you back to the sea, unless you promise to be nice." "No!" screamed the spirit. "Open up the bottle, and I promise I will help you and then leave you alone forever." With this promise, the fisherman let the spirit out. The spirit dove into the sea and brought him 4 beautiful fish, 1 white, 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 yellow. He told the fisherman, "Go sell these fish to the king. He'll pay you in gold." The spirit flew away and left the fisherman to sell his fish. The beautiful fish were indeed worth their weight in gold. Once he had sold them, the fisherman ran home with his earnings and the blue bottle, eager to tell his family about his exciting day. He put the bottle on a shelf and remembered the spirit every time he looked at it. The end. In the story, the fisherman keeps the bottle to remember his exciting day. Do you have something in your home that reminds you of an adventure or a great day you've had? Using a piece of paper and pencil, draw a picture and write about what happened. We hope you have fun drawing and writing.
Thank you for joining us for Stories in Art at the Yale University Art Gallery. We hope you enjoyed listening and looking with our storytellers.